Hello and welcome to all of my Lamont families. I'm so excited to have you here. My name is Mrs. Crollo, and I'm your student's family and consumer science teacher. Tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit more about myself, as well as the class that your child is taking with me. I'm going to end with a tour of our Google Classroom. If you have any questions, always feel free to call me or email me. That information is going to be at the end of my presentation. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to having you all in my classroom. Welcome to Introduction to Teaching. First off, I'd like to talk a little bit about myself. This is my 9th year teaching family and consumer sciences, but it's only my 3rd year at Lamont High School. I'm so excited to be working here. This is the best job ever. Some of the other classes I teach here at Lamont are food prep, interior design, child development, and of course, your child's class, Introduction to Teaching. I'm also an assistant cheerleading coach here at Lamont. Some of my background for education, I did receive my bachelor's degree from Eastern Illinois University, and I also just received my master's degree in early childhood education from American College of Education. Okay, let's start getting into your child's class. So Introduction to Teaching is a year-long course. There's lots to cover. Of course, you can't just learn how to be an amazing teacher in one class. It is a huge process, but I do teach them the basics and I try to get them as much experience in teaching as possible. So first off, I'd like to talk about our course outline. So for the first semester, and really kind of leading all the way up until the whole end of the year, they are working on building a professional portfolio. We do start with exploring the profession. We learn about the history of education, all of the different job roles that a teacher can have, and how to build professionalism. Your student will learn how to write a resume, write a cover letter, a thank you letter after an interview, all of these things that will help them be successful in the interviewing process one day. Then we will move on to learn more about the learner, our students. We will uncover more information about the development and growth of preschool age all the way up. I actually go up until 8th grade because I do usually have a couple of students that are interested in teaching subject areas within the higher levels of junior high. Classroom environment is something we touch base on that has a lot to do with classroom management and how you're going to create your environment and your classroom rules. And then we also dabble into diverse learners, which is a huge element that I do not want them to miss out on because every child is so different. And that is one of my favorite things to teach in this class. Then we move into learning about the teacher and all of the planning, instruction, technology, assessments that go into being a teacher, kind of the behind the scenes of actually teaching the students. And then, of course, their clinical experience will start next semester. Due to the times that we are in now, I cannot give a direct answer to how placements will work. However, I am working with the school and the other schools that I usually place my students in to make sure that my students get the best experience possible with working with other experienced teachers as well as other students outside of Lamont High School. If placements, expectations, regardless if they're going to physically be placed in a school or if they're going to be virtual, they will have specific expectations about what they have to get done, arriving to class on time. This class right now is first period, but second semester, it'll be at the end of the day. So of course, after they would have lunch, they can, get a quick break. They would head straight to their placement school where they will check in with the main office. They will always check in with their teacher. It always kind of starts slow when they're working with their teacher, but they do know that their cooperating teacher will have them teach a mini lesson and then a final lesson. They will have lunches with me if we go back to that schedule of having lunches in school. I just want to talk about this possibility. But regardless if there's lunches or not, at some point they will meet with me to talk about all their different lessons that they're going to teach next semester. They do have to have their own form of transportation. Of course, with COVID, carpooling might be a little bit more difficult now. So that is a possibility we will have to come to if that is a concern of yours. Lessons, all their lessons. So we will get tons of practice in this semester with teaching lessons to each other so that when they're actually in front of the kids, either virtually or in person, they feel comfortable doing whatever they want related to their cooperating teacher's curriculum. And then their final portfolio is built up, that is developed throughout this entire year so that when they do eventually transition into college and working towards their degree in teaching, or if they're not going to be teachers, whatever it is, it's still important to know how to build that professional portfolio. They have definitely something to show for job interviews and really building up their resume. A lot of the class is built on project-based assessments. So they will be working on different things to help them develop their knowledge of what it takes to be a teacher and working with others to kind of discover all of the different elements with learning and teaching. Okay, now I'm going to take you on a tour to our Google Classroom, just so you can kind of see how I have everything set up here. When my students go to Google Classroom, it'll always bring them to the stream page that has a link to our Google Meets. I never ever post assignments on the stream. My stream is more for announcements than anything. Like my announcement to them the other day was, please make sure you're reaching out to teachers you want to interview. I'm going to give you time in class tomorrow to work on your teacher interview, so please come prepared. So I kind of just send them quick reminders through the stream. Classwork is what they're going to go to most often. They could always reach this class, their folder drive here, as well as a Google Meet here. But I have everything organized to everything we're going to be doing this semester. So all of the topics are over here on the left. They can get quick, easy access by just clicking on that. It'll take them to that unit that we're on, or they can always scroll down. That is it for my presentation, but of course, I'm sure that there's always questions that you might have, so never ever hesitate to reach out to me. You can reach me at my email, phone for the school. You could always leave me a message, and I also have a Twitter handle as well that I always post really fun stuff that I'm doing in class. If you ever want to meet with me to talk in person, obviously we can't meet like face to face right now, but I am always willing to set up a Google Meet with you to have a meeting if you have any questions or concerns for me. These are crazy, crazy times, so no question is unwanted. I'm always willing to help out in any way that I can, so do not hesitate to reach out. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.